What's going on, guys? Marcus from Wall Street Assassins back at it again with another video. Yesterday, we're looking at the SPY on the 15-minute today. Yesterday, we were talking about a potential bounce because the market was oversold. And you can see we basically rallied from that 381 and we started to basically go towards those 390 levels in which we are watching. And now we're a little bit more on the overbought side. Looking at the overall charts, jumping over towards the 20-day, you can see that we were oversold yesterday on the 20-day, leading into that bounce. We held above that 20-day trade line, but now it's the opposite. We are basically we got overbought, hit that 390, and we're starting to fade back down. So we want to watch for a few key levels over here. We want to watch to see if we break this 385. Once we start to break 385 is acting as some type of support over here. You can see it was even some support over here as well. Once we start to break 385, we could start basically retesting that 383 and maybe even going back to 381. RSI has room for downside, getting a little bit more on the oversold side, but it can go blue. If we do start to bounce this morning, want to watch for a break and hold above 387. 387 is basically the trade line over here. You can see 387 was a resistance level, so a very key level. Want to watch to see if it breaks that, and then we can retest that 390. Remember, Powell does speak tomorrow, so the market may be a little bit erratic today. Looking at the next one we're going to talk about, is Tesla. Tesla is actually still holding these highs. You can see it has this fake step and staircase pattern going on. Overall, 20-day has crossed down. So that's a little bit more on the bearish side. So we want to watch to see if it breaks that 309.84 before it can start basically pushing up higher towards those 315 zones. I'll show you that a little bit in a second on the 4-hour. Once we break that high on the 20-day. But this level has been a major resistance level plenty of time. So you definitely want to be cautious going into a long position over here, especially since we rejected it more than once, right? We've been rejecting this level for a long time. So there should be some sellers over here that could possibly lead to some downside. So definitely want to be cautious if it does break it. You probably want to see it break and hold above it before you get into a long position. But watch for that 309 or 310 break before we can start basically pushing up towards those 314, maybe even 320. But overall, if you zoom in, MACD does look like it wants to cross down. RSI is basically looking a little bit weak. So we want to watch to see if we break that 305, and then we can start basically retesting the bottom of the step and staircase around 302, maybe even going towards 300s on Tesla. Last but not least, looking at Netflix, you can see Netflix basically was pushing up. They did get that upgrade, and I said, hey, it's a little bit more on the overbought side. You can see we even squeezed up towards that 347 and pulled back. So this is signs of weakness, right? The signs of sellers, right? Meaning, hey, we're trying to push up and we're getting that steep drop down. So definitely want to be cautious with Netflix. You can see the 28 cross down. RSI is basically in the middle over here. So we could possibly go down from the break of 240, and then we can start basically going towards that 235, maybe even going towards 230. If we start to go back up, want to see a break and hold. You could possibly try to get in early from 242, but I want to see a break and hold above 247 before we can start going 252 and possibly higher from there. So that's going to be it. Keeping a very short watch list this week, especially since it's a Powell week. Everybody's pretty much waiting for tomorrow. Just got to scalp the situations that we're getting. You can see SPY is trapped in a range, basically, going up and down throughout this range. Right now, it is pulling back. 20 days crossed down. 180-day is crossed up. So you know what that means. That equals choppiness, right? So whenever you don't have both MACDs pointing in the same direction, that is a choppy time. So want to make sure you guys are very clear with the overall position and placement that you guys are going for. If we're below that 180-day trade line and 20-day trade line, I'm going to look for bearish positions. But if we ever start to violate it or look for some type of bounce or get oversold on the smaller charts, I'm going to look for those long positions just because I know that 180-day is crossed up. So let's see what happens. Make sure you guys keep an open mindset, use a stop loss, leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.